right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, welcome inside our studios for the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. And yes, you're right, we have a lot of things to talk about tonight, mainly the Penguins. A big game tomorrow, try to take a 2-0 series lead against the Flyers. They really dominated the Flyers yesterday, and one of the things that I think that they need to do is get off to a fast start, not let the Flyers get any momentum at the beginning of the game. That's one of the things that we'll talk about tonight at 11 o'clock on KDKA. I think if the Pens score first, they're in, and it basically is game over, in my opinion. I'd like to hear Gene Collier's opinion on that, because, you know, if the Flyers do score first, it doesn't mean that the Pens won't win the game, but I just think it would be a lot easier route for the Penguins if they score first and then the Flyers, you know, kind of stop believing at that point.
Yeah, I mean, the Flyers are having a lot of difficulty with the Penguins. I mean, it's not so much that you lost game one and winners of game one at home, you know, usually win 70% of the series or something. I mean, that's a problem, obviously. But the bigger problem is that they've given up so many goals to the Penguins, 27 goals in 5 games. They have no real solution, no apparent solution at goaltender, and that's a difficult way to go about any business in the postseason. I mean, no matter how well you skate or defend, not that they did anything very well in game one, but if your goalie can't stop the puck, I mean, that's a tough way to play hockey. I'm no expert, but I
yeah, there's no doubt about that. Hey, the one thing that concerns me, Gene, is when you see a team get blown back, tighten things up, and with the Penguins, you see them really come back and win the next game. I don't know if that's the case here. I think the Penguins are head and shoulders above the Flyers right now, and one of the reasons is the goaltending situation like you talked about. Do you still continue to go with Brian Elliott?
I think they will, although Dave Haxtell didn't seem to know what he was going to do after game one. He seemed to be leaning toward going back with Elliott. The Flyers don't really have an answer there, so it'll be interesting. But when the Penguins are playing like this, or even, you know, remotely like they played in game one, they're tough for anybody to beat.
By the way, breaking news here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, in case you're not paying attention. We are breaking news tonight. Columbus just beat Washington. Panarin scores the game winner in overtime. So, hey, I really like the Penguins-Columbus matchup. If that happens, I think the Penguins can, you know, win that series too. I don't know about the Washington series. I remember last year on the show, didn't you pick Washington?
I believe I did.
Yeah. I would pick Washington this time around. It's one of those things where
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen at some point. I'm with you on that. Happening. How about the Pirates right now? 9-3, like Ken just talked about. You know, look, they have the easiest schedule in the majors in April, right? But they are playing well. They're hitting the ball, and they're getting some good pitching, besides maybe the 6th inning and the 5th inning sometimes.
They've done most of this with offense, Rich. They have a great OPS. They're hitting homers like teams that hit homers when they haven't done that in a couple of years. They're getting 2-out hits. They're getting hits with runners in scoring position. You know, their run differential is probably the best in the division. Most of that was unforeseen. I'm not saying it can't be sustained, but in order for this to happen, Polanco's really playing out of his mind. Marte has played well, and they've gotten great contributions from Corey Dickerson and Colin Moran. All of that stuff was kind of unforeseen.
Yeah, and that's what they needed, and that's why I didn't think they'd get off to a start like this, because you need all these pieces to fall into place.
Right. Everything
they need to hit on everything.
Offensively,
yeah. Right. And Trevor Williams, 3-0. That's kind of surprising to me, too. I envision him as a 500 guy, and maybe he could come back to earth at some point. And, I mean, he hasn't faced world beaters except for they beat the Cubs. And that's the one thing that you can there's some hope there. You know, they didn't just beat up on Detroit and the Reds and teams like that. They took 2 out of 3 against the Cubs.
And, you know, until there's further empirical evidence, you know, the Pirates are good.
Yeah, the Marlins now, Phillies coming up, and they can continue to, you know, dominate. And I know Bob and I talked about this yesterday. Seattle had I'm not trying to be a pessimist here, Gene, but Seattle had a great record in April last year, and they finished about 10 games under 500.
That could happen too.
That could happen. But if they can gain some ground here early on, then obviously they're in a better position than they would be if they continue to lose to the Reds like they did the last couple of years.
All the wins count. April wins count.
No question about that. All right, and this show counts and breaks count, and we got to go to a commercial break right now. Give us a call, 412-575-2600 is the number. You can always tweet us. I'm at Richie Walsh. She's at Gene Collier. Back in 2 minutes.
The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, putting new roofs on Pittsburgh homes for over 25 years. Call Ireland Contracting at 1-800-NEW-ROOF.